Well, good evening, everybody. Don't know how long we're going to last tonight with my throat, as you quite that. Oh, we've got audio. Yeah. But Happy New Year to you all those of you that are in here. Stitch, Missy, little Stitch, if you're in the background there, mate. Yeah, I don't quite know what's going on with my throat. I've got a doctor's appointment coming up again soon. So it's something else I'm going to get them to look into. Whether it's to do with the COPD or whatever, I don't know. Marines, good evening. Happy New Year to you, bub. I don't know what we've got to be happy about it with what's going on, but unbelievable. But it has been nice to take a couple of weeks more or less to myself with the family and do Christmas things. And it's been great to turn my head off to everything. Just so I can relax. Trouble is, when you come back, there's boatloads of it to go through. So literally all I'm doing at the moment is playing catch up with a lot of stuff. Good evening, Karen. But yeah, there's a lot of shenanigans going on there at the moment, which I dare say we'll talk about one or two of them tonight. Good evening, Paulette. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, I've been a bit poorly with the breathing and that over Christmas and New Year, but it hasn't been too bad. And I've got doctor's appointments this week. I've had assessments this week. And I've got the same going on probably till second week in February at least. So on the odd occasion, I will be taking a break from doing the videos and such like. But I'll do what I can. Obviously, I'll still try and run the Wednesday night live. But yeah, I had more news yesterday. It's actually the arthritis that, well, I always knew it was there, that was suspected in my neck and shoulders has been confirmed. So I've now got to do treatment and physio and stuff for that, which is going to be great on top of the fatigue. But it's something else they've found. They got a few other things they're looking into for various other problems. But every time they look into one, they find another.
Still haven't found the brain though, have they?
No, but I've got a picture of it to prove that I've got one. It might not be functioning as it should. But yeah, with so much going on at the moment, especially about the grooming gangs all blowing up again. Who was responsible for covering it all up and not investigating it? And good evening, Stuart. We know there has been. The thing is, it's been going on that long now that probably half of the, I'll call them police and other authoritarian people that were supposed to have dealt with these problems and dealing with these problems are probably dead by now. So they're not going to be held accountable. But it would be nice to vindicate the victims. At least they'll know they'd have been heard, that it's been proved that they had these horrible things done to them, knowing that the police knew about it. And I think it'll probably go a lot deeper than that, as people are saying. It's going to get into who in government authorised the cover-ups, and it's all just said it'll come back to bite them on the arse. It just takes how long it takes. I mean, there's 40 years evidence of this stuff. Good evening, Tony. And, you know, there's who's saying it's not still happening. In fact, people know it's still happening. You know, but they're still denying it. And Starmer doesn't want any Labour MPs voting for a new inquiry into it. Why not? What's he frightened of? What's he frightened they're going to find? Good evening, Moo. But don't forget, a lot of this was going on as well under the Tory watch. It wasn't just under Labour, before and since. But it went on during the Tory watch as well. So, yeah, exactly so. But, you know, the last one took, what was it, 7 years, the inquiry into it all. And that should have uncovered this stuff. But it wasn't. They concentrated elsewhere. You know, it's just ridiculous. And the Starmer's stance on it, that is very worrying. Very worrying. You know, especially when you hear some of the conspiracy theories about his private life and that. I don't believe them all. But, you know, why does he want to hide from it? Especially as tonight they're voting on the next reading of the Kids Protection and Schools Act. Now they keep pushing that this act is to protect kids, especially online, where a lot of abuse takes place, but in their personal lives as well. It will basically point, I wouldn't call it a whole new school curriculum, but the government control and will have more control over what is taught in schools. Parents will have no say in it. Basically, they'll make all kids under the age of 18, as somebody else said, they'll basically be a ward of the state. The state will be responsible to enforce how they're brought up and how they're educated.
Unless they want to fine a parent.
And the parents will be held responsible by law to make sure that the rules are followed. No, they won't admit it, Stuart. They won't admit fuck all, mate. Yeah, they do, Karen. And, you know, they've slowly turned all the schools from education centres to indoctrination centres. And this just goes up one step further. You know, you'll enter school at school age and you'll be chucked in the washing machine and you'll be rinsed of everything until you're 18, at which time they will have just implanted what they want into you. Yeah, exactly, Tony. There's so many of these cover-ups now that come into light. You know, ancient ones as well as newer ones. And every time Starmer does anything, there seems to be another cover-up happening. Now, they passed that bill where they can force mainstream media and the press to black certain things out that they don't want to get out there. You know, that's been going on in the background for a long time. But now they have the legal power to force it. The new censorship on social media, well, they can black that out on there as well. No matter what Zuckerberg says about doing away with fact checkers, you will not be allowed to put, shall we say, misleading or misinformation up. They will have centres specifically set up to stop that. It just won't go through third-party fact checkers. I've quite often disagreed with them. But yeah, they want the kids to learn, listen to the party. This is what we want you to do. This is what we'll do with you. This is how you'll be rewarded. Well, we know under what they're doing, there is nothing that they do that rewards anybody other than the rich. Yeah, Zuckerberg, he just don't like being threatened by different people, especially when it's Elon Musk. But where was I? Yeah, yeah. Facebook won't change that much. You'll just stop seeing them little blue ovals above the comments or under the videos. And evening, Baron. Yeah, it is, Stuart. It is 1984. This is why they want to take over the councils and everything, so everything can be directed from him, from Westminster. But the further he pushes, the more and more is getting exposed. But yeah, just for the sake of the victims, I say there should be another inquiry into the grooming gangs. So I've been doing a lot of getting a bit short of breath. And for those of you that will notice, yes, the decorations are still up. I've got as far as getting the boxes down. You can see them there behind Heather's chair. They'll all be coming down tomorrow.
Said that 2 days ago.
Yeah, I've had so much on and been so knackered. It's yeah. The facts of it would be, Missy, and we know it's true that the police covered a lot up. They covered a lot up about their inactions. It's got to be determined whether they were acting from themselves or, as many believe, from higher powers. I'm not going to go into the racial side of it. Most of you know the stories. But if nothing else, it will expose a thing. And if people then want to take it further, I suppose it would be up to them. But it affected a lot of lives and still does. Yeah.
No, I couldn't leave them up all year, Baron. They drive me crazy.
Yeah, too much to dust.
Well, no, you don't get the. Oh, it's nearly Christmas because it's nearly Christmas in January.
You think they're wrong, Missy? How's that? What was your last? Who determines what is fact? Well, that's what the inquiry would do. What is fact?
Oh, flip.
What?
I looked away from the telly. Looks like they've had the vote. They were coming out with the result. Looks like it's all over and done with.
Is the vote for the second bill? Oh, they might be going out to vote.
No. They've just said the Conservatives were crushed.
So the bill is going through. It looks like they voted against having the inquiry. According to this, well, there's a thing. A lot of them said they were for it. Oh, we know the elite is wrong, Missy. Oh, we're far, far right, Stuart. He accused everybody that doesn't bow down to him of being that yesterday. The elite are wrong. Yes, I'll agree with that, Missy. Absolutely. Well, I'm really surprised that got voted down, to be honest. I mean, even Jess What's-Her-Face said if the victims called for it, they wouldn't have one.
Yeah, they also promised the old lady's money and then took it away.
Mm. But yeah, it's... And you've got people from outside getting involved in this now as well, with Elon Musk having a go at everybody, basically. Fair play to him. You know, he's getting stuck in there. He's got a bit to learn about politics, but...
Says what he thinks.
But why is Starmer reacting to him? Well, simple reason being, it's causing friction between the likes of Nigel Farage, Tommy Robinson, a lot of the main big groups that are against Labour and that are really out there putting a voice out. He's got them fighting against each other, arguing with each other. Why they're arguing with each other, they're not arguing with him.
Tommy Robinson seems to be the big issue at the moment.
Yeah,
Are you on his side or not?
I haven't really looked into it, but...
No, I meant between these big wigs.
Yeah. Good evening, Resist. How you doing, buddy? But yeah, he's going to keep that pot being stirred, I think, because they'll be using that to hide behind for other things. You know, we've got the gaslighting goes on, and perfect examples. I said in the video the other day, I think it was the one I did do, about having all these trials on the same day as Trump's inauguration. I was going to say organisation then for some reason. You know, is that going to overshadow it? Because that's all that mainstream media are going to be showing. You know, because there's a lot there that could come out that they probably don't want to. You know, we've heard all of the conspiracy theories around it all. Will we ever get to know the truth? Personally, I don't think so, the way the courts are organised at the moment.
Your headlines on the screen about the vote.
Headlines.
On the bottom, black and white.
Yeah, I saw the bottom one. That's the same as what was up just now.
Oh, sorry.
But no, it's definitely been voted down. Trump's inauguration starts. Yeah, but there'll be all the leads up to it and the parties and the statements, Stuart. Don't you worry. There'll be some cover stories.
From lunchtime.
But the way Starmer and Reeves as well, and a few others, are really pissing Trump off. Yes, social media will be the only place you'll see it, Paulette, I'd have thought. Probably won't be live, but we'll get more idea. But yeah, you know, Starmer's pissed off just about everybody he's tried to do deals with. and having a go at Trump and America is one of the last things he wants to do. You know, at the end of the day, most of it is they are our biggest ally. You alienate them. Chinese don't particularly like us. Now, if all this can break up the relationship between America and the UK, then basically that gives anybody a foothold to put their foot in. That would mean we're well gone. Good evening, Hunter. You know, it's a lot of these dots have been put out there for years now. And it's only just recently that if you start to connect them, you can see where we're heading. Yeah, I think they will, Stuart. I think they will try and black it out, and then they'll just issue a statement at the end. They might show the sentencing, assuming that he is found guilty. You know what I mean? There's anything could happen with the way the courts are running at the moment.
Well, it might have been an accident.
I still think that he could possibly have been on the watch list and he slipped through the net and carried that out. We've seen that before, and we've seen the cover-ups and the blackouts they've done on stuff like that before. You know, that's just my opinion. You know, I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's what I can see would have happened. Especially as they knew about him, or allegedly. I was told through a very good source. But anyway, that's one to cross when the case starts, to try and find out what's going on there. Now, I still keep seeing these channels on YouTube. The AI channels, I call them, nothing but a robotic voice that's uploaded from abroad somewhere, going on about Starmer resigning. Now, look at what's just happened in Canada. Trudeau. They finally got him out, or he's stepping down. Forced out. Absolutely fine. He's been a dictator for years. You only got to look what he did to Canadians during the truckers' strike, the pandemic and stuff like that. He was an absolute tyrant. But that's took the Canadians 4 years plus to get rid of him, even with his own party against him most of the time. Now, we've only had 6 months of this fucking idiot. We've got a long way to go. Because he's just going to shoot down no matter what they say. He's already saying, yes, the short debate in the Westminster Hall on the petition for a new election was debated. It was accepted, which means it goes on for further debate. But he's not even worried about it. He can just turn around and say, well, no. But it has gone through the first debate, so that will be an ongoing thing, and he'll just stretch it out, and as they do. But yeah, it's took them a lot of years to get rid of Trudeau. It's going to be a big uphill battle. Yeah, exactly, Paulette. He's too arrogant to resign. I mean, the thing is, whether he gets pulled down or he steps down, he might as well move out of the country, because he's just going to take shit no matter where he goes. for what he's done. You know, when your own party, let alone the people that you're supposed to represent, tell you what you're doing is wrong, you'd think you'd look twice into what you're doing, but he doesn't. It is literally as if he's following orders from above. Do not deviate. You know, like the old Daleks, exterminate. That voice works with my throat. Exterminate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does that mean I've got to sleep with Davros?
Davros, yeah. But I got a new Dalek voice. Oh, lovely. No, it's follow me, or I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna take you out. That's his attitude. You know, I mean, literally his statement the other day, branding everybody that disagrees with him far right, or anybody that doesn't want to protect the kids is far right. Anybody that doesn't want to hear the truth is far right. You know, I mean, the bloke's a fucking robot. He's an idiot. He needs to shut down and reboot, preferably a size 10.
I still say if caring about the things I care about makes me far right, I am proud to be far right.
Yeah, exactly. And he hasn't used that excuse for a while, so he's running out of insults that he can use in public. But I mean, the other day, I mean, I did watch a speech that he made. Where was it? In a hospital. So he's there to G up the NHS, but all he talked about was the grooming gangs and how everybody's far right. You know, why go to a hospital to do that?
Thank you, Stitch.
I mean, I can't. Sunak, you could almost get inside his head. You could see what he was wanting to try and do.
Well, it's transparent.
Yeah, but this one, you don't know. I think a lot of people are resist. He doesn't like the fact that there's too much opposition out there against him from all quarters and every way of life. Gordo, good evening.
He's about to cry because all the bullies are picking on him.
Yeah. If he wasn't white, he'd be calling him a racist attack by now, wouldn't he?
Oh, hell yeah.
But again, with the NHS, GPs will be able to send you straight for an X-ray, straight for an MRI, CT scan, whatever. Bypass the consultants. So basically, they're going to move the queues from the consultant's door to X-ray's door, because all departments are working to capacity at the moment. So that idea is going nowhere.
But in a way, that's like having going through A&E before you see a doctor. You get assessed. Does it hurt? Yes. How much? Not a lot. Okay, you can wait. Yeah, your leg's hanging off. You need to see somebody, but we need an X-ray first. It doesn't take a genius to say you need an X-ray if you think you've broken a bone. But when you have to wait to see somebody or go to A&E or see a consultant to get an X-ray booked in to say, yes, you have broken it, it's absolutely stupid. So cutting out that step and saying the doctor, if you think you need an X-ray, can send you, I think that's brilliant.
Well, they can do that anyway. They can book. They've done it with me. They book you straight from the surgery to X-ray. Bypass everybody. They can already do that. Jen, good evening. Oh, what's called an interesting podcast on that Letitia. London's about to go nuts. It's not just London resist, honestly, mate. It's from what I'm hearing around the country. It's let's just say that it's gone above simmering point now. It's a lot of people couldn't see it in the beginning, and a lot of people now, some of them are still for what he does, what he's doing, but they don't like the fact that he lied to them, and they've lied. He's made them look bad in front of their constituents. Because believe it or not, some of the Labour ones on some of the important issues did go round apparently and ask their constituents what they thought, what they wanted, which way they wanted them to vote. And it was obviously against Starmer some of the times. Yeah, the natives are getting very restless, Stuart. Very restless, mate. I think it will, Karen, unless something drastic happens, some major U-turns. I mean, we're going to be paying more for gas again now, if we can get it, with more supplies being cut off to Europe. Apparently from Ukraine this time. Why they would be being cut off, being as...
we haven't given them enough money.
Yeah, maybe we haven't donated enough billions to them. But gas and electric will be going right up. That will skyrocket, believe me, in April. They said it wouldn't, but they will. And obviously with the new taxes that they've brought in at the beginning of this year, the source tax, basically that puts the cost of everything up. And with the economy basically going nowhere, it's not going to be long before we end up back in a depression. Yeah, they say we weren't in one before, but we bloody well were. And I think we're going to be heading back down that route. Unless they do something pretty damn quick.
I'm quite sad already.
It's, get the popcorn ready. They're promising these billions and billions and billions to be spent here, there and everywhere. A lot of it outside of the country. But they're saying the new taxes are going to pay for it. No, they won't. A lot of those new taxes aren't going to even break even. They'll be taking those taxes at a loss in what it takes to get them. So all they're doing is creating a bloody great big void, not a black hole like they called what they were allegedly found, but they're creating an absolute chasm. Stash your cash, yeah. They're pushing, and that was another thing in with the kids and the new schooling thing. In the bill that they want to pass, the kids will have to carry a digital ID card. So adults won't accept them. We've rejected them before. They still want us to have them, but they can't force us to have them at the moment. But through legislation and school, they can use all manner of excuses to force digital ID cards on the kids.
Makes them safe online.
Gradually, it will be bred in that everybody has to have digital ID. Then they've got control, totally. But yeah, I mean, you say keep them safe online.
No, it's been ironic though.
But you think what the kids can do nowadays with their IDs. How most of them get online on some of these bad sites. They know ways around things and more than I ever would.
Eleanor's nearly 24 on Facebook.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. And you get some weirdo chatting her up, and all of a sudden, oh no, it's a kid. I wouldn't know, Stuart. Could you answer that one, babe? Do kids have to use an app to pay for meals at schools?
Don't know. I believe my grandkids have a card, like a credit card thing, but it may be on a phone. It may be a phone app. I really couldn't tell you, but I know they've got like a small little cash account that they pay out of, so there is no cash at school.
So there you go.
Well, it stops people being bullied for the cash in their
For the
pocket.
money, yeah.
Because it's on the card and it needs a machine to get at it. So unless you nick the person's card and pay for your dinner, that's all you can do. But yeah.
You say that, Missy. Will cash actually be worth anything? Now, you think in a global meltdown situation, or what people call an apocalypse, the first thing's going to go is electricity and digital communication. All you're going to be left with to buy stuff is cash. We've seen it when these supermarkets and supermarket chains have been hit by the bugs. Their tills won't work.
But come the apocalypse, cash is about as useless as gold because you can't eat it.
No.
And cash is what is it? It's a bit of paper. It'll start a fire. That's its only worth. Because the Bank of England ain't going to exchange it for anything.
I know it'll still be a promissory note. But what I'm pointing out is, even today, if the power goes down, there's a bug hits the computer system at the banks, at the supermarkets, they can't do any transactions.
Oh, no. In today's world, when there's a power cut, yes, it must be cash transaction. But what I said was, come the apocalypse, Waterworld, what was valuable? Dirt,
yeah. Yes, Jenny, she did. In her last Christmas speech before she died, she did actually say, we must preserve our cash. And I distinctly remember her saying that.
I seem to think Charlie said something about upholding his mother's wishes, but I wouldn't like to swear on it.
Mad Max.
But yeah, it's difficult to know what to use as a safe means of currency, because a piece of paper is absolutely worthless if the banks collapse. A lump of gold isn't.
No, but you'd still find people that will take cash for stuff. Hoarders. But no, you got to think about it. Think about what you'd do if you had no electricity. People will say, oh, we'll still have water because we got a gas boiler. See, gas boiler's connected to the electric. No communications. Electric doors won't open. Lifts won't work. If you got an electric car, you're really screwed. Yeah, that's the way it used to be, Jen. I mean, bartering is still used around the world today, and in some instances in this country still.
Come the apocalypse, it'll be whatever you can trade.
Everything will have its own value. It just depends on how much of it you've got and who wants it. They might have something that you want that they've got plenty of. Barter on. You both walk away happy.
But I'm not sharing my chocolates.
You know, that's the route you'd have to go down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're down the apocalypse route of you've got to defend everything you've got from everybody because everybody wants to steal it from you. So the survivors will be their own downfall. Stock up on toilet paper. Yeah. I believe there is people that have still got warehouse fulls of that stuff that they can't shift.
I must be getting to the end of it now after 4 years.
Oh, I don't know. You think what some of the Aussies and that did? Bloody bought lorry load after lorry load of it. Yeah, I said, Jen, you know, jewellery, although, you know, a lot of people in a desperate situation would take food over jewellery anytime. But yeah, there's been a lot of damage due to the weather, shall I say, Gordo. Whether some areas are using that as an excuse to shut things down for a while, I don't know. But a lot of places that were hit by snow and floods and that, they've got serious problems with power. Not as many as they predicted, but you know, the way mainstream media are portraying it, you'd think half the fucking country's flooded. But we've had very little of it here. First day, we had about an inch of snow. That was gone by 9-10 o'clock. Then it rained. That night we had another flurry of snow, probably about an inch again. But again, that was gone by mid-morning. We haven't had that much rain, and it's just been freezing bloody cold with frost every morning.
But if I'd have had to go into the office on Monday, I'd have had to find my way round 2 road closures because of flooding. And Tuesday morning, on my way in, there were 2 vehicles in the ditch due to icy roads.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
we haven't had it that bad, but
the biggest issue we got here is the wet roads and them freezing.
Yeah. An awful lot of black ice.
Yeah, we've had very little snow, Jen. Very little snow. Yeah, it is Gordo. I mean, back in the 70s, you permanently had your candles out, didn't you?
Yeah, but you knew when they were coming.
You know, always made sure you had some batteries in your radio. And
but it was like there will be a power cut at 7 o'clock tonight, or tomorrow night, or on Thursday night, whatever night it was. You knew in advance. You knew what time. So you sat there ready, waiting for it to go punk.
Yeah. Poor that, not had any snow, just rain. Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of showers. It was, I'd be honest, a bit more like sleet. But it's the temperatures that are the biggest issue here. I mean, when the rest of the country gets snow heavy, we don't seem to get it here. You know, we get a little bit, but it's the temperatures. And especially, I mean, Heather's in the office 3-4 days a week at the moment, just part-time. But when I'm sat here on my own during the day, it's pointless heating the whole house just for me.
He's lonely.
So I got a little oil-fired radiator here that I have by the side of my desk, and that keeps my legs and that warm. So
It's like a little puppy dog want to come home. Hello, hello, I've missed you.
yeah, that's the only problem with it, Gordo, isn't it? Or that the alarms go off. Yeah, we don't see the hills from here, sure. But, you know, there's been floods just up the road. We know of road closures, not local, but in the general area that were closed through snow. Yeah, we had hardly any here. Certainly didn't slow the mothers up bringing the kids to school, that's for sure. And we couldn't wait to get out in it when we were kids. Used to leave for school half hour early so you could have a snowball fight on the way in. Oh, pardon me. See, that's the other thing now. Yeah, you bring that up, Gordo. They're pushing the electric cars thing again. Ain't happening when you look at the sales of cars and what have you now. People just ain't buying electric. And as we said, it's ridiculous. The infrastructure ain't there. It never will be. We wouldn't even be able to produce enough power if everybody had an electric car that's got a diesel or a petrol one. You know, even the manufacturing side of it. Manufacturers are laying people off because they're just not selling cars. What else have I got on the list? Oh, crap. No, I've been through all them.
What, you got nothing else to talk about?
Well, just waiting to see if anybody else has got anything to bring up. I know there's a bit of lag between StreamYard and YouTube.
And then they've got to type it.
That ain't helping. My throat keeps sucking on that bloody thing.
Well, don't suck on it then. You got a thumb.
So anyway, did you all get what you wanted for Christmas?
Did Santa come and fill your stockings?
And did they look good on him? I had one good one, and he noticed it today, to be honest. I always get a diary every year. Absolutely fine. And then I started to look through it today just to see what notable dates it's got on. Stuff like that. But then you get to October and this page is missing. I mean, that's October the 30th there. Nothing there. Turn the page and we start again on the 3rd. November the 7th. Oh, double blank page. Oh, you can't see it, can you?
During those days, you will enter a time warp. You will not pass go. You will not.
That goes to November the 17th. I don't know whether you can see that. But there is whole pages missing with nothing on. The date, no dates, no times. So is that the dates that we're all going to be cancelled? Not filling my stock in. But yeah, I was putting some stuff in there about my doctor's appointments and that, and I thought, what's going on?
You haven't got anything for October anyway.
Well, I don't know yet, do I?
If you don't know yet, you haven't got any appointments for
No, not
October yet. No.
Labour is still in charge. Yeah, we know that. You got a speeding ticket.
Oh no! You're gonna do the speed awareness course.
Well, is that an SP30 or an SP50, Gordo? I notice there's a lot more people been complaining as well about having their motorcycle entitlement taken off their driving licences for no reason other than they haven't had a bike registered for years. First one you've had in over 30 years. Yeah, I was a bit pissed off. I got one when we went up to Liverpool, Gordo. It was on the, is it the 62, M62?
Something like that.
Going into Liverpool. It was getting towards the end of the motorway. And I didn't see some speed restriction signs down to 60. I was looking for the end of the motorway ones where it tells you to slow down. And right after this sign, which was tucked away 5 lanes over, I got flashed by a fucking camera.
And it was 50. It went down to 50.
50 was it? 29 and a 20. That's an SP30 then. That's not too bad. Couple of those, your insurance don't take note of it, but once you get above 1 or 2 or 3 SP30s and or SP50, which is the motorway offences, then the insurance start taking note. But they normally give you a free one, as it were, especially if you haven't had one for a long time.
Well, you didn't get a free one.
I didn't know, bastards. But it was SP50, wasn't it? It was motorway speeds. It's a more serious offence.
Failing to slow down quick enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's all because you didn't want to pay the money and do the course. Yeah, Gordo, they offered him one, and he's like, I'm not paying that much to do a course. So I'm paying now for the fact that he's got points on his license. So I'm paying on the insurance. But it is what it is.
The only thing they do is take off the fine.
Pardon?
Take off a fine. Yeah, I could teach him how to speed, Gordo. But no, I was kicking myself over that one.
But do the course.
Because I do stick to the rules.
Do the course, because they'll club you on your insurance.
Trying to think when I had my last one, Gordo. It was in the Peugeot, I know that, in the GTI. Where was I living at the time? 50. That must have been 20 years ago. It was for 40 and a 30. I saw the camera, saw the van, wasn't worried about it. In fact, the picture they sent me has even got me sat in the Peugeot with a middle finger up to them, waving. Because I was adamant that it was 40 mile an hour along there. But apparently, if you go back beyond the junction where I come on, no, it clearly is marked 30. So there's no way I was getting away with that one.
You don't get away with it, no?
Now, I don't know whether the rules have changed on the cameras, Gordo, but they don't have to make them as visible anymore. There's a lot of unmarked vans that have got the mobile ones in now. They're even painting them different colours on the side of the road, so you can't see them. Plus, you got the new ones, which are the ones that look down into the car as well. Yeah, it's a fixed camera. Well, the thing is, if it's fixed, you knew it was there.
Yeah, but they do it. They did it to us up the other side of Mere Green. They turned a stretch of road that had no cameras, was national speed limit, only housing estate on one side and fields on the other. So it was 50. Suddenly overnight it became 30 with speed cameras.
Well, that's how they do it. That's what the variable speed limits are on the motorways. It's literally to force revenue. Been there for years. The old days, we used to terrorise them with push bikes. You'd find one that was placed at the bottom of the hill to deliberately catch speeders that hadn't slowed down going down the hill. And then we used to keep going through on the push bikes, belting down the hill and setting them off. You couldn't get done for it back then. I think you can get done for it now if they can prove it was you, but yeah, it used to annoy the hell out of them. Yeah, they do, Gordo. And there's a lot of it going on around the English cities now, dropping them down to 20 where there's no need to. A few places in London, they said, well, why are you dropping it to 20? You know, if you try to come along here most days, you ain't going to do more than 10 anyway, with the amount of traffic. Cairns a good one for that. But they are, I've heard about it in London, several borough councils have been given permission to set their own speed limits because too many people are moaning about the 20. So if the council want to take it back up to 30, they can without getting permission. St John's Lane, no, I don't know it, Gordo. Yeah, we got 20 mile an hour zone here because of the schools. And that stretches quite a way out. But it is needed here, I must admit. We've seen a couple of nasty accidents involving the kids out there. The last one got his leg broke. A38.
We've got the A38 just down the road from us. Long road, Gordo. Maybe the longest road in this country.
No, it said St John's Lane.
Yeah, but he says the A38 as well. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Maybe the longest road.
Yeah, well, we used to go on the A38 down in Devon and Cornwall.
Yeah, and the A38 goes past us as fast as
Yeah.
Pole. It's a long road. It may be the longest road in this country. I won't repeat that again.
The house that Jack built. You lost me there, Gordo. There's no in their schools. Just they did it down in Wales. Sure. A lot of the councils down there are reversing it apparently, but they're doing it supposed to be for traffic calming. It don't make it just increases traffic elsewhere. You know, the taxi drivers hate it, emergency workers hate it,
And it increases
delivery
the
drivers
pollution.
hate it.
Which increases the pollution in the area because you have to hang around longer.
Yeah. That's the pub in St John's Lane, the house that Jack built.
Oh, but the A1 now is the A1M in a lot of places, or the M1.
It used to be the Foss Way. No, it's not one I know, Gordo. Yeah, that's what I said, Jen. In Wales, they did it more or less bloody everywhere, didn't they? Every speed limit got reduced. You know, 50s down to 40s, 30s down to 20s. I mean, there's even motorways. I think it's up in Scotland. I have seen one here, Bush Wells Road. No, don't know it, Gordo. Where they put on speed restrictions because they say it lowers pollution. Well, no, it doesn't. Bush Wells Road, don't know it, Gordo. You know, this is what I used to like in the rural areas in Cornwall and that, Jen. You know, the speed limits were there as an advisory. You know, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, the chances of you running into a copper with a camera was zero. There was nowhere on the side of the road from a park. There were all hedges. So I'm having trouble seeing that text. I ain't bad. I've been going an hour. My throat ain't too bad at the moment. So has anybody been flooded? I'm surprised we don't get flooded here with the brook, actually. But, oh dear. Right, well, I am going to call it pretty soon. I am very tired.
Well, Stuart, I will say, if you ignore my argument that the A1M1 or the A1M isn't all A1 anymore, if you ignore that, you beat me by just over 100 miles. The A1 is 100 miles longer than the A38.
Come out of
But the
Temple
A38
Meads
runs from Bodmin
and
to Mansfield.
Wells, right, and
309.8 miles. And is not motorway any part of the way up it.
No, hang on, the Bush pub. Now, is that the one at the bottom of the hill before you go up into Totterdown? You come out of Temple Meads, you cross over the railway bridge going uphill, And then it's a left-hand turn that goes up the steep hill over the top. Yeah, I know where you are now. Yeah. Well, the Bush pub, if you walked 100 yards up the road there and turned the second or third left, that took you down to the back streets below up there, and that's where I had my flat, a place called Golden Street. The long steep hill that roads towards. Oh no, that's in town, Gordo. What do they call it? Yeah, it goes past College Green and up the hill. Something street it's called. Yeah, that's the Bush. Yeah. Yeah, I know that well. The old fire station was across the road from there. Because my flat used to overlook the Temple Meads yards and the shunting yards and the diesel depot. From up on the hill, it's Totterdown. Yeah. And if you turn right at the Bush, you go down there and then you go straight across the first roundabout and you get onto Coronation Road, I think it is. And there used to be a tannery, well, it still is, down on the corner, down there by Bedminster. I worked there for a while. Yeah, it's just the names throw me, Gordo.
And you've been to a lot of pubs since that one?
Yeah. Been a lot of years since I lived in Bristol. Bedminster's where I used to do the shopping. Asda at Bedminster. But yeah, you had a good view. Literally, with a pair of binoculars from where the flat was, you could look up Park Street even.
See the woman opposite getting naked?
Yeah, you could see a lot of that actually with the valleys and the hills there. Red Catch Hill. Ready Cat. Not Ready Cat. Yeah, I know where you mean, Gordo. Down towards the football stadium. Got a couple of mates still live down there actually. But again, I never used to go into the city much there. I tried to stay on the outskirts when I could. I just don't like cities. I'm not brought up right and bred right for living in a city. It's all too hectic for me. Well, even less so with all the hassle and everything else you get there now. We're moving. Where are you moving to, Gordo? Oh, pardon me. Good grief. Not a case of one to do, a case of having to. Yeah, there's certain areas that I don't like to go, Stuart. Even round here, there's a few areas that I'd keep well away from. Now see Blackwell. Nails is a bit quiet, or it used to be. Used to be busy in the summer, not so much now. But they have got lots of small hotels there, which I wouldn't be at all surprised are full of you-know-who.
Paying customers.
Some good fishing there, though, up the channel. Some good ray and that to be had. And a few good cod in the winter as well, apparently, although I've never fished from there. Right, I am going to call that it, guys. Sorry, it's only just over an hour, but I am having trouble keeping my eyes open here. Yeah, Clevedon's not too bad either. It's the same sort of area around there. We got a corner shop, Stuart. That's about it. That's as far as I can walk. But right, guys, as I say, the videos will be a bit sporadic at the moment. I have got a lot on. Plus, I've had a bit of the bug over Christmas for a few weeks as well. That's knocked the shit out of me. But I will be doing a live next week. I don't quite know what Mrs. W's doing with hers because she's travelling to work again at the moment. Still, she's not working from home yet.
For the moment, it's going to have to be, if I do want, it will be spur of the moment.
Okay.
Because last Friday when I got in, by the time I'd done tea, I didn't want to do anything other than go and curl up in bed. So it's quite a long drive, and with the roads being icy, it's not been easy driving. So it's taken it out of me a bit. So yeah, if I do one, it'll be because I've got something to tell you. And at the moment, there's bugger all happening.
Gordo, I get lost around the areas now. I used to know them all, but but yeah, guys, been great to see you all in here again. As I say, apologies for it not being a longer one, but as I said the other day, this year I am going to try and take a bit more care of my health, which means not pushing myself too much and taking a bit more time to myself. But we'll keep the lives going. And as I say, the videos will be a bit sporadic. So my apologies for that. But until the next one, as always, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free. So it's good night from me.
Good night from me, and have a wonderful week.
Yeah, have a great weekend, guys. Next weekend, no matter what you're doing, just stay safe while you're doing it. Take care, everybody.
Good night, all. Hi, John Boy.